Okay guys, so I'm going to go out fishing this morning. I've got a few hours, first day furlough. So I'm going to go out down to my local river. Now my local river, probably like your local river, is in massive flood. So we're going to be dealing with quite strong currents, and also we're going to be dealing with coloured water. So the way I'm going to be targeting the fish is I'm going to try and find slacks where basically out of the main flow of the river where the fish can sort of hide and not get bashed around too much. I'm going to show you what I'm using to target these fish, so hopefully you can see how I approach it. So this is my tackle box. I've got some cheb weights, 7, 5 and 3 grams. I've got some drop shot weights as well, so I might do a bit of drop shotting. I'm going to take a second rod with me. I've got some Z-Man shroom heads here and just some standard heads as well. So I'm going to use the Ned rig, and I want to use the Ned rig so I can work it really slowly because it's quite cold still. I've got a couple of deep diving jerk baits as well. These are Rapala X wraps, and they're deep diving ones, so they'll go down to at least 2 meters. And if I go onto the lakes, if it's clear enough, or it's not clear enough on the river, I might just dip onto the lake, just so I've got a couple of options. And these are quite noisy. And then I've also got a bigger one as well, which is a diving salmo. What are they called? Rattling Sting. Got a couple of extra EWG hooks in there, and a couple of drop shot hooks in there as well, and a couple of drop shot weights. Okay, so that's my tackle box. Now I'll just show you the rigs which I'm likely to be using. So first of all, you'll see consistency in coloration. So I'm going to be using either very dark blue black June bug colors, or white, or something in between, which is kind of very bright and dark. The idea of that is to just give you silhouette, contrast, or colour to cut through the dark water. First setup will probably be a cheb weight with a size either 2.0 or 1.0 EWG hook, which will go through like that. This is a finesse June bug on a shroom head. I want to use these shroom heads because extra bulk, but also they got weed guards on them, and I found I've lost a lot of stuff in the rivers recently because of stuff moving around basically and getting displaced in the river. So currently there are a lot of snags in the river. So June bug, really dark blue and black, breaks a really good, or gives you a really good silhouette. A white one, again, really good silhouette or contrast, and then the coppertreuse one. So let's go out and see if we can actually catch some fish. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, so we're down at the river, just to let you know, completely flooded. This is probably going to be a massive waste of time. So we've got a Z-Man shroom head here. It's got this skirt to add a bit of bulk to it, and it's also got this weed guard. Really important when you're fishing these kind of rivers when it's flooded like this. Loads and loads of snags. So I've upped the weight of my leader. So I'm using 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. Again, it's just, you know, if you hook into a reasonable fish in these kind of conditions, and they get into the flow of the river, I'm not really going to stand much of a chance on 6-pound line. So I use Panama knots almost exclusively for everything which I do, because I find it is a brilliant knot. So this is the Palomar, which I'm just doing here, not very well. What have I done? I haven't got it around all of this stuff. It's kind of lead guard. Not so easy on skirted stuff, but anyway, So if you don't know how to do a Palomar, just look on my channel. But I tend to get my finger, get it right up there, wet it down, and then you can just bring it down like that and just cinch it down, and that is an incredibly strong knot. I've got a lot of faith in that knot. So as I explained before, I've got some really bright and really dark Ned rigs. I'm going to go for something bright first of all. Let's see if something like this works. So this is a bubblegum flavour, and that's a Finesse TRD. I fancy the look of that. So these shrooms have got a little hook, bait keeper there. Because Z-Man stuff is quite soft, very malleable, you're going to have to just spend a bit of time getting it over that. But I mean, what we want it to come out there basically. So mark it off with your fingers. It's the sort of same drill for putting on any soft plastic really, but you want to sort of know roughly where it's going to be coming out, which is about there. And then once you've got it over, just work it over that, and you're going to have to really work it down. Just make sure it gets right over, because they're so malleable that it won't necessarily get over there until you really give it a good old whatever over it. Really force it over that keeper. Still hasn't gone really. Come on, you can do it. Once it's over, it's not going to go anywhere. That still hasn't really got over it yet. There we go. I think we've got somewhere there. Okay, that's it. It's on. And then we're just going to bounce this along the bottom basically. Now, as with all Z-Man lures, they're buoyant, so it will sort of sit upright like that in the water. And you can just bounce that along, look enticing. The other thing I'm going to do, just to try and help things, is I use Nitro Booster by Ilex, which is stinky fish. Well, actually, this is what is it? Prawn smelling. So just get a bit of that on there, make it stink. But at least we're kind of attracting. We've got two levels of attraction there for muddy water. So we're trying to attract them using scent, and we're trying to attract them using sight as well. The other thing which we can use is sound, but these lures are silent, so we're not using that. Okay, let's go. We are in proper flood water. I mean, you can see behind me, this is almost unfishable. I just want to hit this little bit here first. So this is a kind of unofficial boat ramp, but a little bit of slack water, as you can see. This would provide a bit of cover. This will provide a bit of cover for fish out of the main flow of the river. So we'll give it a go. See, there may well be a fish or two sitting down in here. Let's see actually how visible this is in the water. Okay. So there's probably about half a foot of visibility there, I'd say. properly flooded. I'm just about to get along the side of this river, so as I'm going along, I'm just plonking them into these little holes around here. You know, you'd like to think that the fish would hang out of the current around these. So I'm targeting this area because it's basically kind of slack water around here, which means that basically the fish aren't going to be pushed all over the place, so they'll sort of sit in this water, or at least I'm hoping they're going to be sitting in this water whilst we've got these flooded conditions. I won't be targeting the main flow over there, for example, because that would be incredibly tiring for a fish to sit in that. So all along this little stretch in here, there's kind of a bit of a slack. So I'm just gonna see if I can just find anything here. My main thing is this tree here. That's where I want to go. But this is going to be a problem here because I don't have anywhere I can strike from. So you spend all that time getting a bite, and then you can't actually strike the bite, which will lead to massive frustration. So I'm just going to move around here a little bit to an area where if I do get a fish, I can actually strike it properly. Be a nice problem to have. Okay. Right. Okay. Right, let's swap this over. Okay, so we're going to swap over to June bug colour. It's again great colour for when it's muddy water, provides good silhouette. It's about as dark as it's the darkest of the kind of colours that Z-Man do. Okay, so I've been down to the river, had no luck there, didn't have a single take, so I'm coming down to a lake where there's going to be some more visibility in the water, hopefully, and I'm going to try some of these little deep diving jerk baits, so very small little jerk baits, see if we can tempt some perch, possibly some pike, out of some of the deeper channels just down here. We've got about 20 minutes, so it's going to be a bit of a mission, but let's give it a go. Okay guys, I'm going to have a couple of casts here. I'm not expecting anything. I've put on a little Rapala X-Trap deep, so this should get down to the bottom, and then I'll just twitch it along. Little jerk bait. I've got a titanium trace on there. This is a hangout spot for pike, so there we go. Jack, straight out of nowhere. Huh. Was not expecting that. Okay. Okay, so let's just unhook this. Okay, take it easy, fish. Take it easy. Okay, guys. So we brought a change. We were fishing the Ned rig before on the river, not getting anything. So made a sort of executive decision to change up what we were doing. So we swapped over to a little crank, well, it looks like a crankbait, it's actually a little jerk bait. This is like an X-Wrap or a slash bait. This is an X-Wrap, this is the 7cm version, deep diver. I'm actually at a reasonable lick down through here, because I was bringing it in actually to just see how deep I could get it, and the pike engulfed it literally at my feet here, and he really went for it. It wasn't like any little nips, he really went for it. It's only a little jack, but you know what, this has saved the blank basically, this little pike. So it goes to, let's just put it down for a second. Hey, just come back here for a second. So it goes to show, you know, just bringing a little change like that, knowing to swap out, do something different, actually can often save you from blanking on the bank in these kind of conditions especially. So don't be afraid to bring changes, try something different. Okay.